Look who's gonna make into this episode this time. He's got 2 days off, surprisingly.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I actually dug into this car since I bought it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be taking off the front clip sometime, actually tomorrow. Because today we're gonna be measuring some frames because, well, there's a slight issue that's come up with the 58 Biscayne. Nothing dire, nothing serious, but I was doing a little bit of research online because I'm trying to decide either 396, 454, or 472 for that 58 Biscayne. And, well, that's actually a little nice, decent piece. But, I found out that, here, let me, because I'll go over to the frame in a moment, I'll explain it. But, yeah, that door does not want to open too well. But here, let me get into the picture here as well. See, on the 58 Chevrolets, for the cars, it was a 1 year only for the X-frames, and I found out reason why. There's a lot of issues with them. They drove decently, but the stuff that I want to do with the dream car, the 58 Biscayne, the entire rear axle relies on that wishbone, that giant wishbone stabilizer on the top, including there's a rubber piece on top that oh, here comes the wind, sorry. It relies solely on the stabilization of that rubber piece. So the stuff that I want to do, and I contacted some Chevrolet clubs and some guys that have built these, they said the stuff that I want to do, use it as a daily driver and everything, you know, for a fun car, they said I'll actually tear up that rear end. And I've also read articles online said the same thing. Now, if it was a normal standard, you know, drive around, if I put like a straight, you know, the old straight 6 or the old V8 in it, which I don't know what it had in it. I ran the numbers once, but I forgot. Do you remember what it said on the title for that Biscayne? For the engine? I can't remember. Wasn't like a V8? Yeah, I can't remember now. Yeah, it was something. It was just one of the smaller V8s. But the stuff that I want to do and everything, I'm actually going to have to do a full-on frame swap. I'll keep that X-frame back, but won't be using it. And I was kind of doing some thinking. Well, today it's been kind of a slow week, and Saturday kind of catching up. We're actually going to measure frames off of the 64 Galaxy. Even though this is a big car, but wanted to do some measurements to see if I could shorten it up and, you know, in the back and everything, because we'll look at that 68 frame and I'll, you know, explain why. And 57 to 59 Ford Fairlane frames seem to be pretty much all the same from what I saw online, which I say that the rear axles on a 57 Ford, you know, a Fairlane, will fit onto, you know, to the rear of the 58 Biscayne, we know, with the extra welding and stuff with that, with another wishbone, you know, the system. Well, kind of cut out the middleman, as I did this one post on our community post. Just go ahead and do a full-on frame swap with some Ford, unless if I find something decent for a Chevrolet. Someone said like an El Camino in the 70s, but that actually looks pretty decent. Okay, but it's kind of a terrible season to go out to the salvage yard, because around this time between September to late October, rattlesnakes are out more, especially the little sand rattlers. And I'm talking about the big, you know, Western Diamondbacks, the regular sand rattlers, the little ones that probably get like up to a foot. Yeah, we have those little miniatures around here. So it's going to be kind of dangerous to go out there and measure frames. So I kind of want to measure the frame on the 58 Fairlane and compare that with the X-frame. And then, since certain frames are similar to the 64 Galaxy, to 65 and 66 and a little bit of 68, even though frames on 66, 67, 68 cross over, so I'm going to do some measurements there. So pretty much, long story short, about almost 5 minutes, go ahead and start measuring some stuff and see where things go. And I don't know, but it's definitely not going to get an X-frame. It's definitely going to get swapped on some sort of a proper subframe. Don't know if it's going to be an A frame or a Galaxy frame or a frame off of a Fairlane from 57 to 59. I don't know what yet. So I'm going to go from pretty much the tip to the main rail right here to the front rail. Yeah, to the best as you can, since that arm bracket's in the way. Kind of straighten it out. Whoops, there we go. Because looks like I got 193 inches. That's pretty big. Or not big, long, excuse me. So that's what it is, 193 inches without this back piece here. Because what I'd have to do with the other frame is, you know, a lot of them have the side rails and everything, you know, they have the partitions. Whatever that this is onto that one, you know, depending on how stuff is, take out the middle pieces, modify them, and then since these right here can, you know, can be cut so far, so if they're sticking out, because I gotta have the rear wheel wells evened up to the middle of the other one, to whatever frame it's going to be that I get from the salvage yard, and then modify stuff up in the front, so that way it sits stuff evenly, because it's got to be right in the middle, in the back there. So, and since it's just a small little trip over here to the 68 frame, which, by the way, I'm actually going to turn this into a parts car. I actually need it. So, yeah. So let's see here. That's probably about good enough. And here, can you hold that while I grab the bumper out of there? Oh, sure, get caught already. There's a yellow jacket. So on this one, it'll have to be the very back, and I'll get up right here to the front. So that one weaves in the way. Oh, it won't be. And we got 199 inches. So 193 to 199. So
you shorten it right here.
Yep, shorten it in the back. That's what I'd have to do on the frame. Because I also have to crawl underneath, because I'll scoot this forward. So, but this one's for the 68 Galaxy Fastback. But let's pretend that this is a spare frame. What I'd have to do with the wheel well, from what I know, on the Biscayne, of course, you know, top it out, do whatever needs to be back right here for it to sit. But the center of the wheel well on the Biscayne has to sit evenly on this. Let me get this on it. I'm not being a very good cameraman today. Let me try to explain this here. Here, let me scoot this back a little, dear brother. Okay. Can we see this? No, not too well. Alright, so all I have to do on whatever other frame that I get, whether Ford or Chevy, may have to be a Ford because I really want a 9-inch on it. But the center of the wheel well will have to sit perfectly and evenly on this once I have the other axle sitting on it. And then, you know, I'll set it on it, just start doing measurements and everything, see what I need to make for brackets and all that. May have to do a little modifying up in the front depending on what it is. And also too here, if it's another Galaxy frame, what I can do is there's these side rails right here. These can be taken off by the factory welds, and you can actually shorten it up to how you want it. But it always relies here. Let's see if I can actually get in the camera. Sorry, I'm really not being too well with cameras today. But sit the 58 Biscayne in the back. And again, we're pretending that this is a spare frame, that this one's, you know, for whatever. Set, you know, get it on the rolling chassis, do your measurements, but the center of the wheel well in the back has to be set right here. Then do whatever stuff that you need to do, the tub and everything. and then whatever length is right there, put on the steering box and everything, and then take these sides off, measure, so that way it matches up with the X-frame, 193 inches, or at least hopefully, and then put your new rails right here on this side and fit them in. Oh, what you got going there? He's got an idea. Let me take the camera off here, because this is pretty much his hypothesis right now of what we're going over. And oh, that got stickers to pick up. And
can't you
like build a rail system on the side?
Yeah, get yourself a scrap frame like that, take those side rails off and modify it.
It's always an option too, but I don't know how to.
That idea.
Yeah.
That'd strengthen this frame.
Yeah, it would turn this into a leaf spring. But the thing is, though, I don't know how to fully do that type of customization job. That's the thing.
See,
something like that I know is simpler, but something to add on to an X frame, I don't know its proper weak points. That's an option as well, what he just suggested. I'd have to do some research because, you know, I know nothing too much about frames. Other than that, what I just stated to what I do know. So, man, this wind's really picking up. But, I mean, this frame could still be used to that extent, but I'd have to figure out how to turn this into a leaf spring in order to have it at a 9-inch. Because 57 to 59, I guess rear axles will fit right onto that, but I don't want that system and everything onto this, because that rubber unit underneath there is what stabilizes everything. Of course, I don't know if this will move or not. Is there any snakes? No, because there's also rubber right here too, which it relies on. So in the end, it still has to go back on this frame, but then I'd have to build something else, and something similar to a Galaxy, I guess. Because we're out here, you know, talking, hypothesizing, because this is an X-frame issue for the 58 Biscayne, because, you know, up right here is going to sit either the 396, 454, or a 472. It's going to be stroked out, and it's going to have 2 4 barrels. It's going to be, you know, extremely huge engine. Try to get an M22 Munchie with the proper gears, you know, sit it down in there, because this car is not going to be original by any means, the Biscayne. First it was something a little bit, you know, beefy, but now it's like, you know what? I want it to be just as beefy as Cherry Bomb Victoria in Havana Banana, which is the 64 Merc. So, what other ideas do you may have? Because that's the only things I know so far.
We just have to keep looking.
Yeah, because he's got those 57 standard Fairlanes out over there too.
Yeah, and so the 57's been parted out enough where we could probably get a frame pretty decent.
Yeah. So, but yeah, because when he pointed that out, you know, just set this back on the car, just build something, and yeah, just kind of go from there, in all honesty. Or just go with that route, like I stated, shorten up the back and all that, and then do something with the rails on the side, because those go back on over here. Because trying to do because I stated that, because a lot of Galaxy frames from 65 to, what was it, 69 are almost the same. I know 67, 68 are thin. This one's thin. 66 right here, the parts car, the same kind of pattern on each side, but this is 68, it's thinner. 66 is a lot thicker, because you can see, you know, it kind of goes down over right here and everything, and it also has the same deal. It has the forks going out, because right there's the transmission. So I have to take off right here at this spot, you know, on both sides of the factory welds, shorten it, and then, you know, reinforce it and everything, and then put it on. Notice that's the way, the only reason why I'd have to have this section up right here to fit on the 58 Biscayne if I do decide to go that route. Because these Galaxy frames, even though they're thin, people have really soup them up with big engines and not do hardly anything with these frames. So it's an option. I really would love to get another 66 Galaxy frame because those are thick, but this frame's going to go on that one, which we found something interesting between the inches between this 66 and my 66. That mine's shorter and this one's longer, isn't it? That we found out?
I don't remember now.
Yeah, well, we'll measure it another day. So we'll probably not measure the 58 Fairlane because I'm kind of leaning more towards something like this right here for a setup, or at least mock this for over that. I'm not sure, in all honesty. But the Biscayne's going to have a leaf spring system in order to
do your homework and build yourself a tube frame.
Yes. Well, I know nothing about how to build tube frames. I just know how to slap panels on and straighten them. Because you're still teaching me stuff about engines and drivetrains. I've only done one deal of modifying a frame, and it was for someone actually turned a Mustang into a framed car. And I was helping Buck out with that a long time ago to a certain extent to what he did, but it's been a very long time, easily 25 years.
I don't remember what that guy did.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still learning, experience for me. So if anyone has any tips on this sort of stuff, just post it down in the comments. And if you know anything that like any other Chevrolet framed, chassis would work on, like a 70 something for the Biscayne, just go ahead and post it down in the comments, because the Biscayne, the 58 Biscayne, my dream car, it needs a leaf spring system in the back. That's what I need to do with it. So I'm not going to measure the 58 Fairlane because it's starting to get hot, and it's really don't want to crawl around the dirt right now, and because it's kind of a simple day, straightforward and all that. And so but yeah, once again, quick run up, if I ever get another Galaxy frame, that's what I have to do, is put the Biscayne wheel wells directly in the center back there, figure out how to tub it properly so that way it stays on there and true, along with the rubber spacers, and then measure out in the front right here, put it up on blocks, take these bars out on each side, and put something better and thicker in, something like this, because we got the frame right here that'll show us the thickness that we need.
Yep. Well, this is going to have to come out anyways.
Yeah, because every time
going to go over to that other 66.
Because 67, 68 frames, and I think also 69, I can't remember, but just say 67, 68, the safe side, these are thin. They tend to rust out about right here and someplace along the middle. They never rust out in the back or in the front. It's always on the rails on the side. So
I think that's how our friends broken too.
Oh, Punk's 67, yeah, it broke in the middle. It broke like a wishbone, broke right in the middle, directly right in the middle, both sides. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell for a quick video for Sunday. I mean, we've been so gosh darn busy Thursday and Friday with other stuff going on, and just didn't have time. So I've been thinking about this. It's like, well, I know people's, be like, oh, this frame, that frame. Was like, well, if you know something else other than just another Galaxy frame, because I know where another Galaxy frame is over at the salvage yard, but I just have to see if it's still in decent condition. That's the thing. So all in all, I guess that's everything in a nutshell. Anything you want to add to it besides
can't think too much about the frames, but I was thinking about that 71 Mercury there. I mean, I got.
Oh yeah, yours is the same thing as this. It's just
see, the thing
Godzilla
is,
size.
I got the 429 sitting over there, and the transmission sitting in the trunk.
Yeah. You want to slap that in?
I don't want to play.
Except the thing is, your 429 needs to be rebuilt because it's smoked.
We can still have it start up.
Well, we could do a quick. Okay.
I'm thinking.
Well, the thing is, though, I don't know what condition that transmission's in. Well, you know that stuff. I don't.
That's just it. I got to tear into it.
Yeah, see if it needs to be redone. Because this is a low mileage car. It has original
all the
miles.
motor mounts and everything in it. So.
Yeah. And not much work needs to be done to this. It just needs to redo the top, a few other odds and ends, pop this off the frame, you know, and do the underneath and all that. It won't take much, but we don't have room over there unless you want to switch this out with something.
No.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. So, anything else you want to add? Or did you want to talk about the transmission on this, or not really?
Wait till we dig it out.
Okay, well, wait till we dig it out, which will be what, next year or two? Well, next year we gotta start working on that roof before it starts rotting more because of the vinyl top.
Yeah, I think it's just rust colored right now.
Okay.
I didn't notice any holes or anything like that.
So alrighty, I guess that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. Not much for a video for Sunday because, you know, been so gosh darn busy with everything. So I guess please take consideration of liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. So we'll catch you all another time. So have a good one, take care, and stay safe. See you later, and thanks again. Yeah, we got to. Could be worse. Could be worse. With this trailer, who knows anymore?